Hello, this is Dr. Darnise, and welcome on in. I have some information for y'all that y'all need to get the new course that I just released on African American Studies. So listen, I want to share with you something that just happened in the state of Georgia around this tug of war between whether or not AP African American Studies can be taught in Georgia school systems. Now, first of all, remember I just made a video, 3 mistakes Black people keep making. And one of those mistakes is that we keep expecting other people to educate our children. Critical mistake. Malcolm told us a long time ago, that's insanity. I made a whole video, 3 mistakes Black people keep making. Did you see it? One of those mistakes is that we keep expecting other people who don't look like us to educate our kids. And of course, I've been on here talking all the time about how important it is that we read, that we encourage our children to read, that we stay immersed in our history because there is literally an agenda to erase our history, to erase the fact that we've been here, right? So what I've been doing, as you know, some of you may have the Black Studies reading list that I put together, I don't know, a year or so ago. That is a free reading list, right? It's a free resource for you. The link will be in the description box, but I'm excited to come on here today to tell you that I have created a whole course for you. I've created a course. I'm a college professor. That's what I do. And in the course, I'm pulling from my university courses, my Intro to African American Studies, my African American religions class, my Race and Contemporary Arts class. And what I've done is pulled some audio, right? So it's like you'll be listening to a podcast. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But what I want to talk about to you, just to give this some context. So here I am in the state of Georgia, and just recently, it's been a tug of war um, in the state of Georgia whether or not African American Studies could be taught, AP African American Studies. And so the school superintendent, Richard Woods, announced that on Wednesday that the state will restore public funding for advanced placement African American studies to be taught in public schools after seeking guidance and clarity from the state's attorney general regarding whether state law permits its inclusion in the state approved course catalog. This came on the heels where he announced last Monday that funding would be revoked, would be removed. Schools could not in the state of Georgia teach AP African American studies. So this is how critical it is. Various states around this country are legislating that, oh no, you can't teach this in schools and receive funding. So in Georgia, that happened one day. 2 days later, the superintendent came out and said, wait, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say, I don't know what he meant to say, but he had to go back through this. He had to seek guidance and clarity from the state's attorney general. This is what I'm saying. Our history is being debated in actual halls of law, the justice system. Listen, we can't be at the mercy of other people like this. My whole point, we cannot be at the mercy of other people like this for our education and our well-being. It is imperative that we take this into our own hands. So what I've done for you is I have created that Black Studies reading list. And as I said, some of you have gotten it, great. Again, I'll put the link to that free resource in the description box. But what I've also done is create this course. Now I'm going to share my screen with you, which is why I'm on Zoom recording this. And look real fast because I don't need to see everything I got in the world. Okay, so when you go to the link, because I'm going to put the link to this as well in the description box. So when you go click on the link, you're going to go to this page, African American Studies Academy, right? That is me, your professor, right? And so what I'm sharing with you just briefly here is what you can expect when you go to page, right? This is our space. Here you will learn or be reminded of important historical milestones and turning points in our history. You will study the evolution of African Americans over the past century as we have survived, overcome, made a way, and thrived in every aspect of life, including history, religion, the arts, and more. You will find selected readings and over 10 hours of audio recordings taken straight from my college classrooms that others have paid thousands of dollars to attend over many years. I've been at this for a long time, y'all, a long time. 18 years of teaching. And so, and the students at my institution, I mean, tuition and board is probably about $70,000, $70,000. Okay. So here's a little of what you can expect. African American history course. This is actually me inside my office when I was on site in LA. I'm no longer there on site, but this was my office. And you can see that there. That's in my office. Um, I shared an office with someone who brought in this beautiful art. Malcolm on the wall, Madam T.J. Walker, Frederick Douglass, Barack, Thurgood Marshall, Dr. King over there. So our office was full of art, um, African art and African American art. This is my book, Beyond Christianity, African Americans in the New Thought Church, which I'm just using here as an image, right? You're not going to actually be reading from my book, I don't think. I'm that though. Just to show you, this is just to show you the kind of things that you can expect. Resources, articles, books, chapters, audio teaching, okay? Go ahead over there, stop sharing right now. Go ahead over there and sign up. It's all at your own pace. There's no quizzes. You don't have me like my students. You know, they knew they had quizzes and exams coming and papers due and all that. And you'll hear me. I chastise my students. And our young people need that. They need to know that the bar is high and that they have to work towards something. Our students need that. Your children, your grandchildren need that. Because this laissez-faire thing of like, well, they don't feel like it, they don't feel comfortable. We see where we are with our young. They need direction. They're craving direction. Gen Alpha coming up, they are struggling with basic skills like reading and writing, literally struggling with reading and writing. Benefits from that, by the way. That's the whole idea of that video already. Why that is one of the top mistakes that we make. But this video was to remind us, like in real time, for real, this is not just me selling you a course. This is me telling you, I got inspired because I just saw this tug of war in the state of Georgia, whether or not it was legal for our history to be taught. And this is going on around the country. You know it. So we cannot let our well-being and our education be in a tug of war situation. Because sometimes in some states we're going to lose. We've already lost in some states. So I created this course. I want you to go and sign up for it. And I say, how much is it? Go to the page. You're going to be surprised because it's really, for all that you're getting, at least 10 hours. And I'm going to continually add, right? More content, at least 10 hours. And again, it's like podcasts because I couldn't put the young people's faces on there on the video. So it's you'll be listening in our courses. And there's all kind of resources, readings. I'm referring people to various documentaries. And so, you'll be able to follow along and go at your own pace. You have access for a year once you pay, it's tuition, but it's very reasonable. Very reasonable. Now, if you want, some more personal consultation, what can you work on with your kids? I'm trying to thinking about developing some worksheets so that, you have something specific to work on with your kids. So let me know what you would like. What do your kids need? What do your kids need or your grandkids? You can see that they have a need already. What kind of support do they need? Do they need a tutor? Do they need after school help? I mean, I'm not, I don't know how much of that I can do, but depending on if there's a critical mass and say, we would just like to have a Black History class and my students can come, my students, your children can attend for an hour a week. We could put something like that together. Right. So let me know what the general thinking is. But because I take this very seriously, obviously, I've dedicated my life to being an educator. And so it's extremely important. We live in times where it's not even like, oh, well, maybe things will get better. No, no. And then I just saw too, before I let y'all go, a friend of mine sent me a text message, and probably you've seen this also, where HBCUs have not been getting all of the funding that has been owed us. Feds say southern states owe HBCUs billions in funding. Right? The federal government says that HBCU. You can hear all that noise. But yeah, the Fed say southern states owe HBCUs billions in funding because so HBCUs are waiting for this money. How many know they're never getting that money? If they haven't gotten, they're never getting that money. Why do we keep waiting on these people? Why do we keep waiting for these people to take care of us properly? They are not going to do it. We're going to do it for ourselves, right? If you agree with me, put in the comments that you've been on the long haul. You saw me all the way through this video. And yeah, you already know. They're not going to do it. It's up to us to do it. All right, go ahead and sign up and